get to that. Let's get a little world's greatest, or let's do a Samson stretch. So take a knee, squeeze the glute, tuck underneath, drive that hip forward, and go up. Press the hip, press the hips toward the kneeling knee. And then reach your hands in the opposite direction, looking to stretch out, lower back, lat. Starting that Samson stretch. Squeeze your glutes, tuck the butt underneath, bring those hands up. Inhale, exhale, press the hips toward the kneeling side. We're looking to stretch this muscle out right here, lats, and also QL muscle, which is deep back here. So you want to press your hands in the opposite direction, push your hips back. Don't be afraid to move those hips left and right. Try to dig around and feel where you need to feel it. We are doing squats today. Squats, power, wattage. See how much power you can create for our work period with a squat variation. Your call which squat variation you want to do, but we need to get primed up, get the hips loosened up. So let's go into a world's greatest from here. Drop your hands down. Whatever knee is up in front, you want to take that hand and rotate up and around. Do that 3 times. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Really press that bottom hand into the floor. Reach fingertips towards the ceiling. After that third one, lift that back leg off the ground, long and strong. Try to keep it straight. Squeeze the glute. Press into the bottom hand. Reach up and around. Then drop that hand on the outside of that top foot. Shift your weight to the back leg. Bend the back leg. Front leg is now straight. You're just swiveling that hip left and right. Trying to dig around and stretch out. Feel the corners of that hip socket. See if you can get deeper into the hamstring. Maybe walk your hands in the opposite direction. Press the hip back. Try to keep the leg straight. And if you're up for it, bring those toes up off the ground and do the same exact thing with that hip. Just swivel left and right. Feeling that stretch. Breathe into the corners of that hip. And then bring that back leg up to center. Hold here for a second. Ragdoll position, as the yogis call it. Grab your elbows. Let your head hang heavy. Shoulders. And then roll up one vertebrae at a time. World's greatest stretch. Next up, we're going to do a knee to wall. We're going to stretch out the ankles or get the ankles a little bit more mobile. So I'm just using this as an example here so you can see. Find a wall or something that you could put your foot against or toe against. Foot stays flat. And the idea is to get more ankle range and increase that ankle flexion, plantar flexion, and dorsiflexion. So it's a flexion of the ankle either way you look at it, but we're looking to get the ankle moving more freely. That's the base of our squat, right? If your ankles aren't moving as mobile, if they're not as mobile as they could be, it's going to affect the chain, so to speak. It's going to affect your knees, it's going to affect your hips eventually, so why not just do a little simple exercise like this to help increase mobility in the ankles. So find a spot, you can keep the foot flat, toe touching the wall or bench, as you can see I'm using here. Bend the knee, touch the wall or bench. If that's easy for you, pull that foot out an inch or so. Try to keep the heel flat, that's key. You don't want that heel to come up. So keep the heel flat, bend the knee, touch the bench or wall, whatever you got. And if that's easy for you, keep pulling yourself away from the object. And then bend the knee. That for me is a good 7 out of 10 stretch. I really have to work to keep my heel down, and I can still get that stretch and also feel that ankle working in a greater range of motion, so to speak. So the heels are flat, and you're just doing 20 reps here. Once you find that spot that's giving you that stretch, just do 20 each side, 15 or 20, really arbitrary numbers now. If you need more, go for it. And obviously, switch sides, same thing, rinse and repeat. You may have one side that's more mobile than the other. That's fine. Try to make them equal. Foot flat. Bend the knee. Keep pulling back. Do you feel that good stretch? Warm up. Here's how it's going down. 5 exercises. A through E. You know the deal, the pyramid. Stacking exercises. First exercise is going to be the get up. We've been doing a lot of them in here. And getting better with them. And I suggest you do the same. So roll up on your back. Keep that kettlebell close to your side. Nice stacked, strong structure here, right? Keeping that forearm engaged. Try not to let that kettlebell flop down. You want to keep that forearm engaged. Next stop, rolling up. And try not to let this hip collapse. So on your roll up, naturally your hip wants to come down like this and roll up, right? So your job is to keep that knee facing the ceiling. Really press that foot into the ground. Anchor it. Anchor it into the ground. Press in. Reach up. Good strong posture here. Pressing into that elbow. Now hand, big bridge. Get that shoulder situated. Readjust the hips. And then stand up. It's my top exercise. Next to the deadlift. It's a tough one. Try to keep that stacked shoulder strong throughout the movement. Keep your eyes on it. You don't want to lose contact with that. You don't want to lose eye contact with that. You got weight above your head. Roll over the top, rinse, repeat on the other side. You're only doing one each side. That's going to be exercise A. Next up, we're looking to open the hips laterally. Okay, so we're going to use this bench. If you don't have a bench, use your imagination. But it's going to be a lateral step over. So up, out, and then pull the other side over. Trying to keep your torso upright, good strong posture. Try to keep your toes facing front. Up, out, over, and then step onto the other side. Okay, you're doing 5 each right there. Next up, we're going to do a knee raise or a knee tuck. So situate that bench or even couch if you have one handy wherever you're working out these days. Sit at the edge of the bench, lean back, 45-degree angle, lift your feet up, legs up, parallel to the floor. Keep a line, a horizontal line from your ankles all the way across, okay? So you're leaning back, bringing those knees into your chest, point the toes, okay? Tuck, knee tucks. Trying to keep that ankle foot level, or the foot, ankle level with the horizon. So try to keep it parallel with the floor. You are doing 10 of those. Next up, exercise D. It's going to be bent knee wipers. So you're working the hips, the lower torso now. So hands at your side, knees together, anchor the shoulders and hands into the ground in a nice strong T position. You should be engaging all the posterior muscles, all the muscles that support your back, your upper back should be engaged as you press into the floor. Keep your shoulder down, hand down. Rock your hips to the left or one direction. Try to keep that shoulder planted into the ground, hand planted into the ground. Use your use your belly button and pull up and over, drop to the other side. Same thing, try not to let that shoulder rise up. Your job is to stay active with that upper back and use your torso, your trunk, your lower body to rotate up and over. And really, it becomes a full body exercise because you need your upper body to be pressed up against the floor actively. Okay? Bent knee wipers, do 10 each. And your last up is going to be transverse bridge. We're working those hips, all kind of different angles today. Let's try this. So here, transverse means rotational. Transverse bridge. So you're facing one direction, lifting that hip up, rotating out. So you have perpendicular angle here now. and you're standing up. If you can, bring that leg up to balance. Try not to let it hit the ground. That stable leg, that base leg is working to create stability in the hip. Glutes are getting active, and then rinse, repeat, drop back down. So it's up, out, step in, find your balance, and then back down. Okay, transverse bridge, up, out, step, in. Okay, we're doing 5 each of the transverse bridges. That's your warm-up. Get to work. All right, guys, work period. Should be plenty of warmed up by now. Squat variation, your choice, depending on the equipment you have. Obviously here we have plenty of tools we could use. Barbell squats, front squats, back squats, goblet squats, kettlebell squats, dumbbell squats. We have it all, but you may not at home. So choose a squat variation, either using one kettlebell, keeping it close to your body, still following all the rules of a squat, keeping your feet flat, hips back, trying to keep your knees above your ankles, get as low as you can without dropping your shoulders. Up at the top, squeeze the glutes. Okay, 2 kettlebells if you have it, just an increase the weight, also your posture, having to support those kettlebells up here in the front rack position, same rules apply. Whatever you do, warm up progressively, increasing weights. If you have the option, give yourself a couple minutes, and then for 5 minutes, you're going to collect how many reps you did with that amount of weight that you're using. And that's going to be used for your finisher. Trying to create as much power as possible within that 5 minutes, and then match it for your finisher. So it's going to be basically a 5-minute sprint finisher. So it's 5 minutes of work, collecting as much power as you can, depending on how much weight you have and how many reps you get. All right, guys, finisher time. Now, you should have a number, a total poundage of weight that you're able to move via the squat. You take that number and divide it up into the number, the poundage that you're using for these 2 exercises. That's going to give you a rep number. That's going to be your goal for the finisher. So, first exercise is an overhead reverse lunge. So if you have a kettlebell and you want to use that, you're going to take that, whatever you got. Keep it above your head, be safe, nice and controlled. Make sure you have a nice strong grip on it if it is a kettlebell. And you're going to do reverse lunge. Okay, next exercise can be a great way to finish this workout is a kettlebell swing. Simple stuff. You guys know the kettlebell swing techniques, right? Hips are back. Keep that kettlebell close to your zipper. Big strong swing. Stand up nice and controlled. Keeping that core nice and tight. So those are your 2 finisher exercises. Try to duplicate the same poundage in your finisher as a sprint. Let's go.